started this gangster shit. Mr. Motherfucker, thanks I get. Hello. I started this gangster shit. And this the motherfucker, thanks I get. Hello.
Having fun? Subscribe to this channel. We need you here. Well, oh my goodness, it's Comic Artist Pro Secrets, and my name's Ethan Van Sciver, 26-year veteran of the comic book industry, world's most charming, elegant, eloquent, and yet humble man. Great big Star Wars fan, trusted member of the media. Happy to be with you. I gotta get these videos done. I've got like 4 videos at least that I need to get up today, so I gotta get started right now. I'm ready to work. Let's go. First and foremost, Cosmic Book News, written by Matt McGloin. Again, not garbage here. This website is actually becoming quite respectable, if I do say so myself. Look at this. Look at this content. Rian Johnson versus Ethan Van Sciver. Twitter explodes over Star Wars. Like, you have to read that. Some people say clickbait. You say that like it's a bad thing. Clickbait's a good thing, man, especially if there's some good content behind it. And at least here at Comic Artist Pro Secrets, there always is. Look at the head on this guy. You know, I haven't done this in a while, but it bears repeating. Let me see here. I mean, it is that it? It's a perfect circle. It's a perfect circle. It's incredible. Rian Johnson, I don't know, blew his cool yesterday. I guess that's what this article is going to be about. I haven't read it yet. He blew his cool yesterday, and he came after me. Why would he come after me? Let's find out in this article together. Let's find out together why Rian Johnson would come after your beloved host at Comic Artist Pro Secrets. Things are getting ugly on Twitter as Star Wars The Last Jedi director Roundhead Rian Johnson is again tweeting snarky comments, which also includes tweets directed at former DC Comics comic book artist Ethan Van Sciver. You can just say current all caps comics, EIC, legendary creator of the biggest crowdfunded comic book of all time, Cyberfrog Blood Honey, which, let me tell you something. It's on its way. You guys are going to be getting your copies. If you haven't if you haven't ordered one yet, the link's in the description. Make sure that you get them there at the printer, and I think you're going to be happy. If you recall, back when Disney first fired James Gunn, Rian Johnson proceeded to delete more than 20,000 of his own tweets. Oh, Matt, why do we go there? Why do we have to recall this? This was probably a smart thing to do in retrospect. I mean, going back and deleting old tweets, Twitter was a different universe. Twitter was the Wild West in like 2011, 2012. People thought it was all, it existed to make dead baby and rape jokes. As it turns out, it didn't, and those jokes are coming back to haunt the same weirdos who made them way back when. I never did. I don't do stuff like that. It's ridiculous. But people who think, well, maybe I kind of do. Maybe I kind of did. Maybe that's who I was/am, but I'm not anymore. I've changed. I've changed in the last segment of a decade, even though I'm in my 40s or 50s. Yeah. Now Johnson is back on Twitter with his questionable comments. Why is he so questionable? Why is this round-headed fool so questionable? Does that mean Rian Johnson is no longer with Disney and that his Star Wars trilogy has been canceled? It is thought that Disney has a social media policy about its creator harassing fans and posting questionable tweets, but Johnson seems to no longer care about that code of conduct. Look at him not caring. Look at him not caring about his conduct. Look at that. You can see behind those sunglasses. It's like, I don't care. My head's a perfect circle. I no longer worry about my conduct on social media. All right, let's find out why. Rian Johnson supports the harassment of Star Wars fans. So this happened yesterday, and I was involved. The latest sees Rian Johnson, who wasn't tagged in the post, supporting a Twitter user, Matt Zoller Sites, who mentions how he is going to harass other fans about not liking Star Wars The Last Jedi. This guy had 66.6 thousand subscribers, or no, followers on Twitter, right? So he's got twice as many as me, almost twice as many as me. So who am I? This guy is a big reviewer and film, TV critic, and he decided just out of the blue to tweet this out. He says, "Feeling a bit cranky today." That's what Midol is for, bitch. So I'm going into threads where people unnecessarily talk shit about The Last Jedi and letting them know I think it's a classic that only gains from repeated viewings. All right, so that's what he said. He's a TV and film critic and editor. He works for RogerEbert.com. Oh, my God. Roger Ebert. Oh, my goodness. Yeah. One of the best film critics of all time, towards the end of his life, changed his mind about Jaws. So that was awful. Rian Johnson tweeted back his support and said, "I love you. I love you." Why would he do that? Why would he do that? I love you, he said. I'm going to go attack people who hate Last Jedi. I love you. Oh, it's despicable. Look at him here. Look at Chewbacca. Look at Chewbacca. It's like, get away. Stop touching my Wookiee. Stop it. Star Wars The Last Jedi didn't get repeat viewings. All right, so this is the part where I come in. Getting grouchy all over again over this. Ethan Van Sciver, who is known for voicing his dissent for Disney, and Rian Johnson's SJW approach to Star Wars The Last Jedi, pointed out that the film actually didn't get many repeat viewings, something I have pointed out myself, which is one reason why its box office failed to live up to J.J. Abrams' Star Wars The Force Awakens. And I said, most films do gain from repeat viewings. That's just... Even I know that. I mean, I'm not much of a mathematician, but I do know one thing. If you watch a movie more than once, it costs twice as much money, at least, at bare minimum, if you go in the movie theater. Twice as much money to watch it twice as it does to watch it once. So films do gain from repeat viewings. But, of course, that's not what he meant. He meant the more you watch Star Wars The Last Jedi, the more insight you will garner into the genius of Rian Johnson. Now, I don't know, are hallucinogenic drugs involved? Is a head wound involved? I don't understand what you're talking about. How in the world can seeing The Last Jedi more than once do anything except for make you grouchy and angry? Because I've seen it 3 times. And as I've said, the 3rd time I wasn't right for like 3 days afterwards. I was making videos for you guys. And you guys were like, Ethan, is everything okay? I'm like, no, everything's not okay. Things aren't okay. Sorry, guys. Like that. And then I'd have to apologize. Like I blew up at mommy over dinner. I'd have to be like, I'm sorry, everyone. It's okay. It's all right. Daddy just saw Last Jedi. He's not feeling good. He's not feeling good. Just saw it for a 3rd time. It's just, I'm all right. What was that bird-faced woman? What was that? What was she doing? Holdo. Why all the hugs? Why all the... all right. It declined, and I said The Last Jedi didn't get repeat viewings. It didn't, not really. It declined box office-wise by nearly $1 billion versus The Force Awakens. That's roughly speaking. Because average filmgoers found it cynical and warped. They're correct. Defending it guns blazing is mentally ill. Why would you come out and be like, I'm going to bother people who didn't like The Last Jedi? People who didn't like The Last Jedi, I'm going to make it my mission today to go out there and harass them and bother them. For you, Ryan. All for you. For you. Absolutely true. That is mentally ill. Now, here's the thing about this, and let me just expound on this idea for a second. The Last Jedi lost money in comparison to The Force Awakens. There's no reason on earth, and I know these guys say, nah, the second one always does worse. It's Star Wars. There's no reason on earth for these movies to lose money or to decline in viewership unless they suck, and that's kind of what happened with The Last Jedi. People saw it. People came out of there confused and upset. I mean, it was a common reaction for people to say, what was that? What happened to Luke Skywalker? What was that movie about? What was that strange bird-faced woman, and what was she doing? What was she doing? Who are the First Order? What do they even want? What is the... This isn't the Empire. What is the First Order about? What? They're just random bad guys? Like, what are their goals? Nobody knows. The movies suck. They suck. And people weren't fooled, and that is the problem. People were not fooled by The Last Jedi. They did not go back. They didn't go see it. A normal Star Wars film, you might see it if you're a big fan. You might go see it 4 times in the theaters. You know? My record is I saw Dark Knight 7 times in the theaters. That's the most I've ever seen a movie. I had to go back and back and back. I couldn't believe it. I had to go back and see that a bunch of times. Nobody wants to go back and see The Last Jedi. They want therapy. They go straight from the movie theater to the therapist's office. That's why there's this deficit here. True to Van Sciver's words, The Last Jedi's box office declined so much that Dwayne Johnson's Jumanji reboot actually performed better in the long run. That That is sad. But The Rock is a very charismatic star, so let's not take anything away from him. There's my tweet there in response. Here's Rian Johnson, I think, attempting to punch Carrie Fisher when she's ill. That's not good, Matt Zoller Sites gets nasty on Twitter. Ethan Van Sciver also points out that his 8-year-old didn't like the movie. Note, Ethan Van Sciver doesn't have an 8-year-old. He has a 3-year-old. He has an 11-year-old stepchild and a 20-year-old son. I made up the part about the 8-year-old. So I want you guys to be on track. If you're thinking, do you have a kid that we don't know about? No. And there are no kids out there that I don't know about either. Trust me on that. And if there are, please let me know sooner than later. Following Star Wars The Last Jedi, it is known merchandise sales tanked, which I have pointed out many times in Disney's consumer products division, continues to be the only division at Disney that makes less and less money. I said, surely you must have better talking points than this movie, aimed primarily at selling action figures to children, is more profoundly amazeballs with repeated viewings. I'll tell that to my fictional, hypothetical 8-year-old. People hated the movie, Van Sciver tweeted. Matt Zoller Sites then gets really nasty with Ethan Van Sciver, mentioning, I wonder if they can help get your mom off me. He's talking about the police. He was very upset at the tweets I was giving him, and he said he wants to call the police. And I said, dial 9 wah wah. And he said, I wonder if they can help get your mom off me. But he said it to someone else. I don't think he said it directly to me. Van Sciver didn't like that, and he responded, go back to Rian Johnson and report that you got bitch smacked by the bunch of YouTubers known as the Fandom Menace. And he did. I mean, it was embarrassing, dude. This guy works for Roger Ebert. This guy works for, Roger Ebert's no longer with us, but he works for, that's the worst nightmare ever. Like, you build up a whole, a critic, franchise, a name, a label. Roger Ebert, you're associated with criticizing films for decades. Siskel, that guy, you're associated with Gene Siskel and fighting with him. And then you die, and then before you know it, you've got some dude named Matt Zoller Sites who is telling people that he wants to f their moms. For Rian Johnson. He's doing it for Rian Johnson with Rian Johnson's consent. Rian Johnson tweets at Ethan Van Sciver. Matt Zoller Sites responded. He says, wow, Ethan. So apparently Matt doesn't, I'm beating up Matt so bad. And by the way, I'm doing it with facts and logic. I'm not doing it with abuse. I'm doing it with facts and logic. Okay? That's how you beat the crap out of SJWs. Facts and logic. He says, wow, Ethan, I didn't know your story until some comic fans told me about it. So now you got anti-comic skaters going, oh yeah, well, that guy, he is a grifter. They love the word grifter. He's a grifter, which means, successful crowdfunded comic book. That's what grifter means, evidently. That's tragic. Why did you do it? What an incredible comic that would make. I think it would. I think anybody who wants to make a comic or a movie or a TV show about me, I'd like to see it. Pro or con, honestly. I'd like one where I'm a villain, too. I mean, it'd be unlikely. It'd be weird to portray me as a villain. But it could be done. It could be done. Most movies that will be made about me, and I think there will be many in the future, many films about me, I will be kind of a heroic Walt Disney character, visionary. Visionary in a world where, others didn't believe. But you could paint me as a Senator Joseph McCarthy character, only vindicated with time. You could do that as well. I'd watch that movie. Don't make them posthumous. Make them now. No, Ethan Van Sciver is actually publishing his own creator-owned comic books and has raised upwards of $2 million, I believe. It's a lot. It's a lot of money. The most ever for a crowdfunded comic. Ironically, Matt Zoller Sites is also trying to crowdfund for books, but has only reached 16% of his goal. Oh, so it's sour grapes. I didn't know that about Matt. See, nobody was feeding me information about this guy because nobody cares. And I was winning, and nobody, people don't do that. People aren't coming to me and saying, oh, yeah, well, this guy, you should know that we don't have whisper networks at Comicsgate. We just confront people for what they are and what they are acting like on social media. They're acting like dicks. then that's just what they are. There's no reason to get further intel. These people want to get further intel. As I've displayed recently, they actually found this one dude. He got so upset, he got so triggered that he looked me up in the white pages, decided to dox me, and he posted a picture of the house that's for sale that's next to the house that I lived in. And he said, I'm going to be buying this piece of property. First of all, you couldn't afford it. You're an SJW. You can't afford my neighborhood. And second of all, that's my old house. Like, I moved. You guys know that. I'm in a new house now, further away. And you definitely can't afford this neighborhood, biatch. Rian Johnson got wind of Matt Zoll's site's tweet and responded to Ethan Van Sciver. He said, Ethan, I can't hear you. Did you say something? I don't know what that even means. Did that mean that he muted me? I had to think about that for a little while. First of all, you can't hear me because I'm typing. I'm not talking. Well, now I'm talking, But, when I'm on Twitter, I know it's difficult to understand, Ryan. I know you look like a pop figurine. I understand it's difficult to understand and to figure this out, but I'm typing. You can't hear my typing. Well, you can't hear the words on the screen. You have to actually read them. So if you can't hear them, that's perfectly normal. Nobody can. Did I say something? No, I just typed something. Ethan Van Sciver tweeted back, there he is. Yeah, I said it's good to find out what it is you actually do love in place of Star Wars. You love critics like Matt Zoller Seitz who brag about bullying the fans for you. You bully while telling them he's fucking their mothers. Come get your boy. Whoa. Fandom Menace Ascendant. What? I was waiting for Ryan to respond, but Ryan doesn't respond to that because he's been properly shamed. What are you doing? What are you doing supporting bullies? Bullying critics of your work in your name. Why are you doing that? Why are you doing that? What a goofball. And why are you even responding to me anyway, Ryan? I will make you look like an even bigger idiot on social media if you let me. Don't let me do it, Ryan. For the sake of Disney, for the sake of your sanity, for the sake of your family, your loved ones. Don't come after me on social media. Don't do that. You have to know that you are a director and you work for Disney and you have Star Wars. That's the brand that allegedly you are working for, that you are protecting, that you should be protecting. Don't get into Twitter squabbles with me. Goodness sakes. I'm just here to entertain the masses. This is sexy right here. I gotta admit. Nice shot. Beautiful Rose Tico. This guy who doesn't realize it yet, but he's gay, and I think he's figuring it out right here. So, from what I understand, he and Poe have something going on, a little something. So this is where he's going. She's looking at him like, I could smooch that face, and he's going, could I smooch that face? I might be gay. I might be into dudes. So it's a good photograph. You study that, and you can read each of their thoughts. I like Rose Tico's hoodie. Let's see. Per the norm, fans also got into it on Twitter, and of course people did. Ryan is a demigod to SJWs. They ruin everything and laugh about it. Then when they get blowback, they cry and play the victim card. All I know is karma will come around, and blah blah blah, etc. etc. It sounds like Ryan is salty. He is salty. Ryan is a salty little boy, and I don't understand what's going on in there. Here's my guess. Here's my guess about what's going on inside this head right now. Okay, if you could actually X-ray this head and look at his thoughts, here's what you would find. You would find Rian Johnson panicked because J.J. Abrams, who is no fan of Rian Johnson or anything that Rian Johnson has done, has installed through favors. Through speaking to Kathleen Kennedy somehow, he's convinced Lucasfilm to hire his assistant, Michelle Rejwan, as the new VP. No, VP? Yeah. VP of television development and motion picture development. So basically, J.J. Abrams has his fingers now in Warner, where he accepted a $500 million deal, but also Disney and Marvel, where he has installed A, his son, and B, his assistant, who is now going to be making choices about who's doing what. Who's doing what. And I think eventually she's going to be taking over Kathleen Kennedy's job when Kathleen Kennedy's new 3-year extension finally comes to an end, and that will be 2 years from now. Rian Johnson, his movies still allegedly happening, but not officially on the dockets yet. Rian Johnson, I think, knows that the Fandom Menace has won, and it's going to be very embarrassing when it is clear that Rian Johnson is not making his trilogy anymore, and they have scrapped it once and for all. So he's lashing out at me. Don't lash out at me, though. I'm just truth. I'm just the purveyor of truth. You don't have to take it out on me. You know, look at this. Don't take it out on me, bro. I've got the same salt and pepper in my beard that you do. No, I've got the salt right here and the pepper right here. You've got a little salt here and then an awful lot of salt all over here and coming out of here and coming out of here. Thanks, everyone. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please leave me a comment. Let me know what you think Rian Johnson's problem is. Why is Rian Johnson responding to me? Evidently, Rian Johnson watches all of my videos because he knows me. We're on a first name basis, which I find to be interesting. I call him Roundhead. I'd never call him Ryan. I call him Roundhead, and he calls me Ethan. He doesn't call me Comic Artist Pro Secrets or Caesar, which I'm beginning to demand, thinking that maybe I should demand that he do. Call me Caesar. You know, so what do you think of that? Like, do you think I'm right? Do you think my theory is close? Could be wrong. I'm not sure, but it sounds pretty interesting to me. It sounds like a good working theory, and I guess we're gonna find out what's what. Please check and make sure you're still subscribed. Subscribe to this channel. I'm going to be making a lot of videos. I'm putting up videos right now because I've got so many things to talk about that I just didn't have time to talk about over the weekend. I have time now. Let's get these videos up. Thank you guys, and I'll see you again soon. Bye. Hey, I got a P.O. box. Want to send me some mail? Send it to Ethan Van Sciver, P.O. Box 607, Marlton, New Jersey, 08053. And I'll probably open it up on a live stream. Thanks very much, everyone. Hey, you want to follow me on Twitter? Are you sure? Well, if so, I'm at Ethan Van Sciver. That's at Ethan Van Sciver. See you there. Join the Fandom Menace and execute your own Order 66 with our incredible line of t-shirts, Soylo, a Soy Wars story, Tico, a Soy Wars story, and our brand new smoking hot Soy Wars Plan 9. Make a statement today. This is the only trilogy you'll ever need. The link is below in the description. If you enjoyed this video and want to become part of this community, subscribe to this channel by clicking the Laughing Man face logo right on your screen. Ring the bell for notifications as well. You'll never miss a live chat. And stay tuned, another video by Comic Artist Pro Secrets is coming right up.